Good evening, my little Christmas cherubs. My name is Mr. Eaton Jones, and this evening I'm going to be reading for you Threadbare by Mick Inkpen, all about a little bear. Ben's bear was called Threadbare. He was old. Bits of him had worn out, or worked loose, or dropped off. He had a paw which didn't match and a button for an eye. When he looked through the button he saw 4 pictures instead of 1. It was like looking at a television shop window. But there was one thing that had always been wrong with Threadbare. The silly man who had made him had put too much stuffing inside him. His arms were too hard, his legs were too hard, and there was so much stuffing in his tummy that the squeaker had been squashed. It had never been squeaked, not even once. Threadbare hated having a squeaker in his tummy that wouldn't squeak. It made him feel that he was letting Ben down. Ben's frog could croak a bit. Ben's monster could squelch, and his electronic robot could barble away for hours if its batteries were the right way up. Even the little toy that Ben called Grey Thing could make a noise, and nobody knew what Grey Thing was even meant to be. Nobody could make Threadbare's squeaker work. Ben's dad couldn't do it. His mum couldn't do it. Nor could his auntie or his grandma. Nor could any of his friends. When Ben had measles, he asked the doctor about Threadbare's squeaker. The doctor listened to Threadbare's tummy, but there was no squeak, not even the faintest sign of one. The other toys tried to help. "If you had a winder like me, you could wind you up," said Frog. "If you were made of rubber like me, we could squelch you," said the space monster. "If you had batteries like me, we could turn you on," said the robot. But it was not much help. "Why don't you ask Father Christmas?" said Grey Thing. "He knows all about Grey Thing. Or he knows all about toys." This was a brilliant idea. Grey Thing went a little pink. "But where does Father Christmas live?" said Threadbare. "A place called the North Pole," said Grey Thing. "You can get up there through the chimney, I think." Threadbare had never climbed up a chimney before. It was hard work. He took the wrong turn and fell back down. But he did not give up. It was long after bedtime when Threadbare poked his head out of the chimney top. "This must be the North Pole." Threadbare sat down and waited for Father Christmas. He waited and waited and waited. But Father Christmas did not seem to come. The moon rose in the sky, and Threadbare began to doze. Suddenly, Father Christmas was there, helping Threadbare into his sleigh. They flew over the top of the world and onto a land where squeaker trees grow. Threadbare could hear the squeaker trees as they came into the land. "You must eat the biggest squelcher fruit," said Father Christmas. It tasted delicious, but it made Threadbare feel sleepy. Bump! Threadbare woke up. He rubbed his eyes and looked around. There was no squeaker fruit, no squeaker tree, and, worst of all, no Father Christmas. "I must have fallen asleep and dropped off the North Pole," said Threadbare. In the morning, Ben was surprised to find Threadbare in the garden covered with soot. Ben's mum put Threadbare straight into the washing machine. She did not even look at the label on Threadbare's neck, which read in capital letters, "Do not wash." When Threadbare came out of the washing machine, the soot was gone, but there was a curious purple stain on his chin, which nobody could explain. Threadbare was feeling too giddy to notice. His head felt like a spinning top. I don't mind feeling giddy, thought Threadbare as he hung on the line. I don't mind having a button for an eye or a paw that doesn't match. I don't even mind being hung up by the ear, but what I do mind, what I mind very much, is having a silly squeaker in my tummy that won't squeak. Threadbare was so cross that he frightened the little robin. It flew away, leaving him alone in the garden, bouncing angry little bounces on the washing line. The sun rose slowly over the garden. It shone straight down onto Threadbare. A great warm shine like an enormous hug. Threadbare began to steam. He began to feel better. The more he steamed, the better he felt. He swung his legs backwards and forwards, then he kicked them straight and high in the air. Soon he was swinging round and round. Why do I feel so happy? He wondered. It was at this moment that Threadbare realised a very odd thing happened to him. His paws felt different. So did his arms and his legs. They were no longer hard. And inside his tummy was a wonderful, loose, comfortable feeling that he'd never had before. At the very same moment, something caught the Threadbare's eye. Something red was racing across the sun, and, to Threadbare's surprise, it was a red something. That something was waving. When Ben came out to see if Threadbare was dry, he noticed that his little brown bear had changed. "Look, Mum," said Ben, "he's gone floppy." Ben's mum unpegged Threadbare's ear. "Oh dear," she said. "His stuffing must have shrunk in the wash." Ben looked at Threadbare. "I like him like that. I think it makes him look..." But Ben could not think of the right word, so instead he gave Threadbare a squeeze. And for the first time, the squeaker in Threadbare's tummy gave the loudest, clearest, squeakiest squeak. There you go, children. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Goodbye. We're gonna